Well, hello, my soul friends. It is Victoria on the Soul Nurturer channel, where I bring opportunities for you to be with yourself with the intention of reclaiming your soul potential and learning how to nurture your soul, your body, your mind, so that you can rise to meet your possibilities. So I'm going to do a video today. I'm actually in the middle of, or at the beginning, actually just started my own soul visioning online experience. It's a Zoom experience with people all over the country, and I was going to do a special video just for them to help them in their visioning process, but I thought, I'm feeling generous. I think I'm going to do this part of the soul visioning experience for you out there. For those of you who are trying to co-create, manifest a life more aligned with your soul potential and your soul desires, but you keep perhaps sabotaging yourself or feeling like you keep repeating the same experience over and over again, or you just feel unmotivated towards your desire, or you feel a lot of fear towards moving towards what you desire. This video is for you. So welcome to my channel. I am trying to expand this channel to invite in more people who are also soul focused, soul centric view of how we navigate this human experience, souls having a human experience. I have currently been inviting my astrology teacher, Stephanie Austin, to come on every once in a while to share some information about from her deep well of astrology wisdom. She'll be joining me later this week to talk about Pluto moving into Aquarius. Have you felt that yet? I mean, I felt it immediately. So we'll be talking about that this week, and that video will be on, I think I'll load it up on Wednesday or Thursday. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I'm always honored by anyone who takes a moment to visit with me. Hopefully something I say is exactly what you need or inspires you or motivates you to your highest and greatest good. Subscribe if you haven't, and like and comment as much as you want to. The more comments under a video, the more my videos are sent out into the mysterious waters of YouTube to connect with people all over the world. So thank you. Okay, so I wanted to start off the top. I am a transformational hypnotherapist, a Jungian-based I was going to say soul director, spiritual director, but I prefer soul director, soul guide, one who comes alongside of my clients as they are navigating their transformational experiences or are feeling a disconnect from their own soul potential. And really, it's sacred work. I love this work. It's work that calls people back to their highest possibilities. I love it. So in my work, though, as a hypnotherapist, mostly, I deal a lot with the unconscious beliefs and patterns, or subconscious. Those subconscious, unconscious are interchangeable. You know, it depends on who you're learning from and what you're studying. Jung used unconscious, and I like that terminology because it's a lot of our patternings. We have no awareness at all. But from a hypnotherapy point of view, subconscious, all that's programmed in our human mind, like it's like a computer. We have some hardwired information that we come into the world with, and then we have all of the subconscious programming, the software, if you will, that we begin programming in even before we come into the world. When we're in utero and we're feeling our mother's emotional climate, this world we're about to come into, what is it like? And this is key. Our first connection to creating beliefs about ourselves, or a story about ourselves, or a story about life, our view of who we are in the world or what the world's like, is through a felt sense. That's how we first start connecting. And I want to say I'm teaching this segment for my soul visioning class because it's so important. I call it to create foundational beliefs that support what you want to grow, cultivate, experience in your life. This is why if we don't deal with beliefs, you've heard it time and time again where, say, someone wins the lottery, and there's actually, this is something that happens quite often. You know, people who just can't wait to win the lottery, and then they win so much money, millions and millions of dollars, but their subconscious mind isn't set up. There isn't foundational beliefs that allows them to maintain the experience of being a millionaire. It's not congruent with the subconscious programming. So what happens? They lose their money, they overspend, they sabotage, all kinds of things. That's because the subconscious mind, with what it's programmed with, whenever it was programmed, thinks it's programmed to keep you safe. And so it's a battle if you try to do something different than what you have programmed in your subconscious mind. And I always say the subconscious mind is your ally if you know how to work with it. But the material that it's programmed with, it's going to keep it's going to keep it alive until you update it. And it's going to keep, it's like the rudder of the ship. It's going to keep moving you where it thinks you are most safe. Okay. Another way of saying it too, the subconscious mind is our comfort zone. And it's an oxymoron because a lot of the information we have in our subconscious mind was programmed, especially the things that were really programmed in with difficult circumstances or events in our lives that were traumatic or jarring. The subconscious mind is not going to give up that information easily because it wants to keep you safe. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep this quick. This is a very, very deep conversation, but here's the thing. I'm going to show you a way that all my years of this work, 22 plus years now, I've lost count, lots of years, many times, many people, many clients, many transformational experiences of my own and in supporting my clients. What I'm about to show you is the best way to describe what it's like to set yourself up for success in the area you want to go. And what I like to say is basically, if you're doing transformational work, you're wanting to move out of the old neighborhood of your mind where you were initially programmed, all those references from early childhood that may not be supporting you, to a new neighborhood aligned with your soul potential, with information programmed into your subconscious mind, like supportive core beliefs. And I'm going to talk about that too in just a moment, that let you live from your soul expression, your essence, your, fully yourself, authentically you. So I invite you to do this with me and tell me how it feels for you. Usually I do this in classes or, workshops, and I invite people to kind of yell out, what are you noticing? So I'd like you to cross your arms in a way that you're most comfortable. Just go ahead. I gave you permission. See if you can't really see. You can see my arms crossed. This is my comfort. And, body language experts will say when somebody crosses their arms, they are in a defensive posture. And I say, no, that's not true. They're trying to get comfortable. They're uncomfortable. So maybe you've noticed this. You're talking to somebody and maybe they get triggered and all of a sudden their arms are crossed. That's body language for I'm not comfortable and I want to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable. Okay, so I want you to imagine, this feels pretty good, right? You could do this all day long, right? Now, I want you to switch sides. The way that you normally do it, we're going to do it a new way. Cross over to the other side and tell me what that feels like. When you do this, put some comments underneath the video. What does that feel like from switching from comfort zone to this over here? What is it? What do you notice when you do this? Now, I do this so much. It's very comfortable for me. I've practiced it in, but typically what happens, I see this in a workshop. They're here, they're comfortable. I say, okay, switch your arms. And I see this. And they're like, I don't even know what to do. They're confused. They pause. They're slow. Then they try and they're like fidgety. And I say, how are you feeling? Uncomfortable. What else are you noticing? It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel right. What do you want to do? I want to go back to what I was doing. Ah, that's it. This is why transformation is so challenging. We have so much information programmed into our subconscious mind that takes us back into that old neighborhood where we're comfortable. We can sit here all day, but yet our soul keeps calling us to something higher and greater. And we attempt, but we don't know how to do that. And then we're like, oh, this is too uncomfortable. I'm going to go back here. Now, isn't that a great way? That is my best way of, I was like, how do I describe this to people? And I really want to get across how challenging it is. And also, it takes great consciousness. This move here where people go from here to, and they look at their hands and they look confused. This is bringing some consciousness to that choice of doing something different, and then practicing it in over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, until your new neighborhood is not just as comfortable, but more comfortable because it's aligned with your soul potential and your soul desires. Okay, now with my people in my group, we worked on identifying what are those negative core beliefs that got programmed in order to be safe. Here's what happens when we're kids. And again, I always say this disclaimer: my work is not about blaming parents or caregivers. They all did the best they could with their programmed information, but we have to acknowledge that when we are kids is when the majority of our programming takes place, between 0 to 7 in utero, from the time until we're 7 years old or so. When we're like sponges, we're just taking everything in on the external world that we're living in through the people that we're living with in order to understand how to navigate this world, creating what I call files in the subconscious mind. A file for how do we do food, how do we do relationships, how do we do money, all these references. And then the big majority of the information in the subconscious mind that creates and informs who we are based on the external experiences we're having. And I always point out to my clients, and I'll point it out to you right now, take a moment, and the first thought that comes to your mind, what word is in the middle of belief or believe? What is the word? Quickly, what is it? No, it's not live. Most people think it is, which is cool, but it's not. The word in the middle of believe or belief is lie, L-I-E. So this work, my work, is about helping you see where those beliefs are not even true. They're lies of the mind that keep you stuck, keep you in the old neighborhood, keep you from experience what you desire to experience, okay? So, okay, so much to share. I want to just give you that example, though, of how a belief is formed and it's not even true. What I have come to realize is that our beliefs are formed when a need is met or not met. And since the majority of the beliefs that I work with to help people clear their way of the way are the negative core beliefs, that happens usually when a need is not met. Needs are very, very important. I encourage all of you, and those of you taking my class right now, and I'll send you a link to a list, but to assess your own needs in this present moment, but mostly what did you need as a child that you didn't receive? Because transformation requires, and setting yourself up to manifest what your soul desires are, require getting those needs met. And who's going to meet those needs? You are. You. And you're capable of it. And you have all that you need to do that. You just need to know how to do it. Okay, so it goes like this. Say, I always use the same example because it's easy and it's like it's a benign example. It doesn't blame anyone. But say a baby is in the other room and the mom's getting a break because baby just went down to sleep. She puts on her headphones. She's having a moment to herself, which moms need. And then the baby is fussing and crying, but the mom doesn't hear because she's got her headphones on. And so that baby's felt sense of, I'm crying, I have a need. Maybe the need is need of comfort, need of connection, need of food, need of a diaper change, need of not feeling uncomfortable. And the mother's not responding. So that felt sense can lead to, as that baby ages and develops language, the felt sense of no one's coming for me might generate a belief like I don't matter, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy. We all have a plethora of these negative core beliefs. Some of them are supercharged, and those are the ones we need to work with. So that need not met created a felt sense that as that child gets older, kind of holds that energy for other events that are similar to that. Say one day the mom doesn't pick up the child at school. They're 8 years old and mom doesn't come. And I have had this experience actually. And there it is, right back in that felt sense of, I don't matter. No one's showing up for me. Continues to kind of like cultivate more and more of those experiences that are similar, and then really reinforces the belief. So a need not met creates a felt sense that creates a belief. I don't matter. The belief I don't matter creates patterns and then experiences that keep reinforcing that original wound or that original core negative belief. This is so huge. I'm just going to stay with the top of the trees right here. So I want to encourage you for your setup. What I did with my class is I helped them get their butts out of the way. This is a way to identify what are some of those negative core beliefs. I would be experiencing, I would be exercising every day, and then you notice what the but is, the excuse, and then we drop that down to the core, to the root negative core belief. That might look like, I don't exercise every day because I don't have the time. What does it mean if you don't have time? If I don't have time, that means I'm not making the time for myself. If you're not making time for yourself, what does that mean about you? That means that I don't really care about myself that much. If you're not caring about yourself that much, what does that mean about you? That means that I don't matter. There we find the original core wound that was generated in our earlier circumstances alive in ourselves, and we are the ones that keep reinforcing it. And then when we have that I don't matter belief, not only are we self-generating a re-wounding there by doing the same things maybe our caregivers did to us, by neglecting our needs, not showing up for ourselves, not honoring ourselves, whatever your wound is. And then unconsciously we teach people to meet us there. It's kind of like, I always say, it's like unconsciously we hand somebody a script and it's like, I'll be playing the role of the person that doesn't matter and doesn't get my needs met, and you can play the person that takes advantage of me. Okay, let's go. Unconsciously, we're in this unconscious dance, I call it, right? So here's the thing. You and only you are the one that has access to your own mind, to your own programming, and you can see what your behaviors or your unconscious beliefs are, or your subconscious beliefs are, based on your everyday patterns and habits. Do they reflect do they support where you're trying to get to and what you're trying to create? If not, you must pay attention. Bring them, as Jung said, bring the unconscious to the consciousness in order to make changes. So you can do the butt exercise, get your butt out of the way, but you want to gather as many negative core beliefs as you can. And then simply, what's the opposite of that? Especially, you want to create the ones that are supercharged, because those will become your super important foundational beliefs. For instance, I don't matter becomes I do matter. And everyone, I always say this, there are two core foundational beliefs that everybody needs to cultivate. It is safe for me to have what I want. It is safe for me to be who I am. Okay, those are two. And then the third one is I am worthy. I am worthy to receive what I desire. Safe to be me, safe to have what I want. I'm worthy to have this. And also that, you trust your capability, and you trust in God, universe, higher power, however you connect. These are, I believe, the foundational core beliefs to build your life from. So I want to give you this really quick, and then we've got to wrap up. I want you to assess, the negative core beliefs, then write what were the positive beliefs that you need. And then I want you to, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super well, doing this super well, dialed in every day. It's conscious, it's unconscious. I know that these beliefs are activated in a positive way because I'm seeing real results. I'm manifesting, So say the I am worthy on a scale of 1 to 10, you say, oh yeah, I'm an 8. But if you look at your patterning and you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking yourself to the gym or going for that walk that you promised yourself, or eating the way you've been talking about, or drinking, 8 glasses of water a day. You've said you want to do it, but you're not doing it. Well, you're probably not at an 8 of worthiness. So I want you to do this in an honest and real way, without judgment, but with compassion, with discernment, discerning. Where are you? Because we always need to know where we are in the present moment in order to cultivate what we need to become, who we need to become, to receive and achieve what we desire. So I hope that makes sense. The other ones I would suggest that you certainly, really important to do, assess how safe are you to receive what you need. Safety is key. We're not going to be able to change unless we feel safe in our being and our body. So that's a whole nother story. There may be some trauma blocking you from achieving what you desire. But also acceptance, accepting yourself right where you are. So on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 super high, 1 not so good. Where's your level of self-acceptance and also self-love? This one's really key, because what do we do when we love What do we do when we love someone or even something? Some people take better care of their cars. Care of their cars. I won't say that 3 times fast. Some people take better care of their vehicles than they do their own bodies. So that does show some worthiness, but it's external. My car represents me, but ultimately our bodies represent us. They are communicating to us all day long our level of worth, our level of acceptance and self-love. So the more self-love you cultivate, say you're at a 5, and even if you bump up to a 7, the more self-love you cultivate, the more aligned you are with your soul essence, because I believe our soul essence is pure love. And the more you can co-create with God, the universe, all that you desire. Anything short of that, we're going to be blocking, right? Can you see how that would happen? If, say, if I have this experience, then I'll love myself. But it's the not loving and accepting yourself, or not knowing or not believing that you're worthy to receive what you desire, that's going to unconsciously block that, sabotage, right? So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And if you're watching this in my class portal, you can email me or comment underneath this video there too. Just remember, it's important to have a strong foundation to set up your setup, to set you up for success and for achieving and experiencing all that you desire. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know your takeaways. Again, comment, subscribe, like all that stuff. Share the video if you feel called to. And reach for support if you need it. My website is in the details of the description. And I do offer a free 20-minute consultation to see if I'm a fit for you. And if it's not me, I hope you do find someone that is aligned with your journey of unfolding and can offer you exactly what you need right where you are to become the best you that is possible. Much love and joyful blessings to all of you. Thanks for being with me. Take good care. Until next time.